What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's just that wacky old kid again, the crazy kid without the slingshot, and you were at the Dennistheminnis channel.
I keep God first. I see evil when I converse.
I am late for an event, so I'm kind of like scurried between traffic right now, so I'm kind of just trying to do my thing. I want to talk about a couple of different things today. One of them was tickets. Have you ever had a ticket? Excuse me, sir. I'll need you to press hard, double copy. Do you know why I pulled you over? Littering and... Hey man, you were speeding, slow it down. All the above, we're going to discuss it. And we're going to do that all aboard the great old Monster 796. Oh, it's Italian. I am welcoming one and all to the channel of the Dennistheminnis, and I am happy that your beautiful and delicious, tasty face is here. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the little bell notification. Now that I got that whole generic intro, let's discuss tickets. They suck. Nobody wants to get them, but they are completely and 100% utterly avoidable in most places. I say that because there are some places that are built to have traps in different scenarios in their town for you to get them tickets, or to get lots of them tickets. When I say lots of them, I mean lots of them tickets. There's one particular place in Florida, it's right outside of Stark. They have a sign that specifically says, slow down, speed trap. I'm pretty sure I would probably slow down and heed the warning of the big giant freaking 400 by 400 square foot sign that says slow down, speed trap. This is what I mean by avoidable. Sometimes you'll see a guy from way far away. Georgia law requires a municipal, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, for you to be visible by 400 feet. If you are not visible by 400 feet, you cannot write a speeding ticket. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is a little thing I like to call entrapment. Now, however, this does not apply to state cops. You know, some differences. And speeding tickets are probably one of the top ones in traffic, I'd have to say. That, seat belts, you know, just your typical everyday run-of-the-mill type of grind stuff, you know. I was driving the other day, and I was doing pretty good speed. I didn't really check it like I should have. And I looked down and I happened to notice that I was going a little bit faster than usual, and as soon as I looked up, boom, police officer right in front of me. Oh my goodness, you always get that gut check feeling, like it really hurts you on the inside, and you're like, oh crap, what am I gonna do, you know? He's totally got me. Because I knew the cop had me, I went ahead and pulled over. I went ahead and put my kickstand down, stayed on the bike, did not get off, put all my credentials on my gas tank, and had it ready. And he was like, buddy, when I caught you, you were doing 87. And he was like, that was when you shut down. It was the biggest, like, countryest accent, like, ever. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was blown away. But I couldn't believe that he was just gonna let me go with a warning. I had all my stuff ready to go. That's part of it, you know, the respect for the officer that's giving the ticket. You know, in your area, depends on what kind of municipality you have and, like, how they operate. But I can tell you in Georgia, have your stuff ready, be polite, be respectful, you know, don't cry. That's only going to get you a ticket, you know. Don't complain, don't argue. You know, if the man pulled you over, he knows what he pulled you over, so it's really not an argument. I don't know if a guy just wanted to see my bike or what, and I've seen all these stories on the internet, like these cops like harassing people because they want to just see the car, you know. If he does, so be it, let him be. If he doesn't give you a ticket, I can understand you getting a little irate if he gives you a ticket, but I think I would have been a little upset that day because in Georgia on a 2-lane highway, I think like 20 over is, or 15 over, forgive me if I'm wrong, is super speeder. And if you get super speeder, it's super expensive, okay? Let's just put it that way. You don't want that ticket because it's a lot of points on your license too. Georgia allows 24 points a year. You'd have to be a complete jackass in order to lose your license, but there are people that do it. Now, however, you can be at a really high rate of speed, get a reckless driving or, what is it, drag racing ticket? That's like an automatic go to jail, you know? Or you could be the type of person that rides around with no insurance, no license, no registration. That's also automatic go to jail. I think just no license, no insurance, either one of those in Georgia is automatic go to jail. So it's a really specific process, you know, and most officers will tell you, I've heard them say it kind of irately and I've heard them say it nicely, it's a privilege to ride. I'll be right back. sorry, there's a little bit of a break in between here. It's a little bit darker, but I had to go in for a little thing that I do local for this community, among many other things. You guys know I'm a volunteer firefighter. I was paid for a couple years. I was also paid as a cop. Which, getting back to this ticket thing, right? So let's go ahead and get it out of the way. Oh my God, Dennis, you were a cop. Yes, I was a cop, okay? Get over it. It's not really that big of a deal. If somebody decides to become a cop, that's entirely up to them. That's not something you should be against them for. They want to be a part of a public safety organization and they choose the police department. You should thoroughly respect that person for many reasons. Because are you going to do it? Would you risk your life? So this is another reason why you should always be respectful to officers when they pull you over in. And even when you get a ticket, if you messed up, you deserve it. You know, there's no reason to argue about it. And a lot of times they're going to tell you why they pulled you over. They're not going to beat around the bush. You know, they're not going to come up to your car and be like, hey, you get to choose what I'm writing a ticket for today. No, they know what it is. If they ask the question, do you know why I pulled you over? That's kind of like a past, like, dying thing. And it's actually taught a lot of times in the police academy that I was in. It was taught to never say that, because one, you leave room for argument. Two, it just makes you more professional if you say, hey, the reason I stopped you today is because of this, you know. And it just gets that question out of the way. Why am I being stopped? Kind of avoids a little bit of conflict at the same time. Officer safety for a traffic stop is like extremely huge. Can't tell you how big it is. Like it's the difference of that officer at the end of the day going home to his wife and children or girlfriend or dog or family, whatever it is. It helps him, enables him by doing specific steps and having a certain demeanor to go home at the end of the day. You can't be mad if you're getting pulled over and somebody comes up to your car. You know, if he's a little irate and he's out of line, then he's just out of line. But if he comes up and he's very stern and he's militant and he has a persona about him, it's because a sloppy cop dies at the end of the day. This officer that I was talking about earlier, he was a Georgia State Trooper. We'll just say that, right? And I was doing well over the speed limit. I had all of my credentials ready to go for him when he got out of his car, and I totally thought I was going to have the ticket. And at the end of the conversation, the officer was like, hey man, slow it down. That's literally all he said. He got back in his car. I swear to God, he was messing with me.
What fucked up is fucked up, man. This shit is fucking crazy.
Shit, man. I was just about to pull out my 9 and put a cap in that pig's ass.
Oh, fuck.
I swear, I thought I was like in the Twilight Zone. He could have totally given me a ticket. He probably could have even taken me to jail depending on my speed, but he didn't. And just by me being respectful, calm, having all my stuff, staying on my bike, not arguing. If it would have called for any type of argument, it would have been a polite argument. It would have been more of a question more than an argument. I feel like that's the biggest thing, is like people instantly want to be combative when they see a police officer. Investigate. Get questions answered before you start attacking them. Because if you start attacking them, or you have a bad attitude, or if you're just disrespectful, or you want to be like, I don't know, bougie, call it whatever you want, he's probably going to write you a ticket. Or if you complain or cry, you're probably going to get you a ticket written, you know? These are just normal things with everyday tickets. I'm sure you guys have had them. This car's about to hit me. Dennis has had enough. He hopes to see you guys on the next one. He loves your beautiful faces. This has been Dennis's weekly rant about tickets. Dennis loves your beautiful face. Goodbye.
I got you, but just know I'm texting like Uncle Sam. Left to the bank, you know that I'm coming in. We don't do it for the bands though. We don't do it for the clout. Legacy on the line, so I'm moving in and out. Seen good ones turn top dog, greedy ones get knocked off. I keep looking at the bench like I could never not ball. Coach keep me in the game, Curry deadly with the range. I keep looking in the mirror like, who is he? I'm insane. Who am I? He insane. Guess I am the one to blame. What's done is done, won't change. Time to live up to my name.